A great story based on a true event about how to get over difficult times and find inside yourself the strength you need to accomplish your dreams is about to come out. And the movie, it's called American Underdog. And today I'm super excited to speak with Zachary Levi himself. Hey man, how's it going for you?
Yeah, I'm well. Thank you. How are you doing today?
I feel great. I gotta tell you, I was overwhelmed by the trailer. I just saw it yesterday. One can notice there is so much heart put on this project. How was your experience filming this movie?
You know, it was very special. It felt very fated. It felt very meant to be. Originally, the movie was going to be shooting at a time when I was unavailable. Even though Andy and John Irwin really wanted me for the role, it wasn't going to happen. And then because of the pandemic, the whole schedule and everything shifted. And all of a sudden I became available for the movie, and we were able to go and, by the skin of our teeth, shoot it in the middle of the pandemic up in Oklahoma. And all of the pieces just kind of, fell together and fell into place. And all of a sudden I found myself being the big screen interpretation of this guy, Kurt Warner, who was a hero of mine, kind of, an icon to me and many of my friends when we were slightly younger versions of ourselves, and he was a slightly younger version of himself, Kurt. But it's this incredible story. I mean, you can't script it. It's this incredible, true sports story, Cinderella saga, and it's full of, as you were saying, lots of heart and lots of faith and perseverance and love, the love that Kurt has for football, but the love that he builds with Brenda and the love that they have for the kids. And it's I think a very relatable story to anyone who has lived through some life and struggled, and we all have on some level, or most of us anyway. I know that there are a few people out there that were born with very large silver spoons in their mouth, but even they have their own struggles. I don't know what those are. I don't know what those particular struggles are. But the point is, to believe in yourself, to believe in a dream that you believe you were given as a child, and to never give up on that, and to keep fighting through, and have this beautiful family really at the heart of the whole saga, is something that I think it's good for audiences. It's good for us to watch stories like this. It's good for our hearts. It's good for our minds. It's good for our ability to hope again. So it's really cool.
Watching all the people behind the scenes, all of them were so committed to their roles. So do you get to know Kurt Warner? Did he give you a clue of what he wanted you to portray in the film?
I've gotten to know Kurt very well, and his wife Brenda, over the course of making this movie. And they definitely had, there were definitely moments when they were wanting to communicate either to myself or to Anna or to the directors, like, hey, in this moment, it was more like this, or in this moment, it was more like that. They also understood that in trying to tell even a true story, there is some creative license that one might need to take in order, because you've only got about an hour and a half to tell the story, right? So there's certain sections of life that might not be there, or they get truncated together, or whatever that is. I was just grateful that Kurt was there on set most of the time and did not complain about how I portrayed him.
That's great.
So I feel like I did a pretty good job.
So what do you think that defines him or drives him to go further?
Well, it's his perseverance, his faith, his stick-to-itiveness, as a word we'd use here in the States. It's I don't know. I mean, I think it requires a lot of things, but ultimately it does require a very deep faith in oneself, a deep faith in this idea or dream that you believe is real. Like I can attest to this as a young kid, as an actor, or as a young actor. I mean, I was 4 years old when was recognizing that I could make someone laugh intentionally. And I also knew around that age that when people are laughing, they feel good. It's a good thing. And man, I just became addicted to it. And I really believed as a 4-year-old, like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And look, man, I get to do it now. It's still this thing, but so I can relate to this idea of, well, the odds are way against you. They're so against you. The idea of ever becoming a successful actor in Hollywood is very, very daunting. The idea of becoming not just a quarterback in the NFL, but to be able to basically essentially your first season, take the team all the way to the Super Bowl and win. The odds are astronomical in that. So you have to have a very deep faith in who you are and what it is that you're doing. But also, as we see in this film, Brenda's deep faith, spiritual deep faith, then has an effect on Kurt as well, and his ability to kind of tap into that, into a greater power in God, and be like, okay, there's plenty of stuff that's outside of my control, and I just have to accept whatever that is, and I got to roll with these punches and do the best I can with what's in my hands right now, which finally allows him to humble himself enough to be like, okay, I am going to go play arena ball. And then because he played arena ball, he got rediscovered and learned how to play even better football because it moves so fast, and that made him a real weapon in the NFL. So the timing of it all, that requires a lot of patience and a lot of faith.
Yeah, that's so great to know, because it's a process that it's not from the morning to the night. It takes a long time, like you said. And speaking about your ability to make other people laugh, that is like a superpower. Many people feel sometimes disappointed when a good opportunity comes by and for some reason they don't take it, or try it so hard, but they don't succeed. What would be your advice to encourage those people who struggle to achieve their own dreams?
Well, I think one of the first things we have to be able to do is understand that we don't know. I was going to say we don't know everything, but the truth is we know almost nothing. I think really what that ties to is humility, right? Everybody has these big ideas of who they are, or where they're supposed to fit into the world, or what the world owes us, or whatever that is. And a lot of those things are bred into us when we're kids, depending on the parenting that we got or didn't get, and the survival mode that we have to go into, and all that jazz. So you can deep dive into all that psychology, but beyond that, if you know that things may not work out the way you want them to, but your life can still be just as meaningful in ways that you might not have ever dreamed they could. If you can get to that place, well, then it's just a matter of working your butt off and working hard and continuing to be, I think, hungry for it. A lot of people are even very talented at certain things. They're very talented as artists or as athletes or things like that, but they get to a place where they're just not hungry for it anymore. Mm-hmm. They almost get a little apathetic because they're so good. It's like, and you see a lot of these people, in the United States, a lot of people who were really, really good in university and college football, and they get drafted and they go to the NFL. Well, they don't have the hunger, like the fight for it. And you gotta fight for these things. You really do. You got to fight for it within yourself. And if you don't have that hunger and you don't have that humility, then there's a good chance that you're going to constantly be very disappointed. But if you can match those two, the hunger and the humility, and keep fighting and being patient, then either this crazy specific dream of yours is going to be a reality, or you'll have an even better dream and a better reality manifest. But you got to be able to walk, in that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think it's a great difference between what are you good for or what do you really want, because many people get sometimes confused of that. I'm good at doing this, or I'm good at doing that at sports, and that's my goal. No. You have to pursue what you really want, right?
Yeah. And hopefully the thing that you really like doing, you already have some knack for, and you really enjoy pursuing it. You're hungry for it. I mean, as a young kid, as an actor, man, all I wanted to do was entertain people. All I wanted to do was like the next play or sketch or whatever it was. I was hungry for it. I'm still hungry for it. It's so fun. I mean, my job is literally playing dress up and make believe. I don't know why they even pay us for this, but I'll keep taking the paycheck. But yeah, man, I've always been hungry for it. I'll continue to be. Kurt, from a very young age, he had that hunger. He had it. And so for anybody out there that's feeling like they're stuck or running up against the wall over and over again, remain hungry, but also remain humble and malleable, and know that sometimes we're given a dream because it's supposed to pull us in a direction, but because it's only in that direction that then you learn you're supposed to go a little bit this way or a little bit that way. And then it still pulls you to an ultimate destination that is so fulfilling in your own life and fulfilling for the world, because now you're doing something that's even more beneficial to and adding to, you know, the betterment of the world.
Making a comparison, when you know you're playing Shazam, the next movie, and Kurt Warner, they share some kind of characteristics, right? Or share something great in common.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're both strong physical specimens, that's for sure. And, you know, and I think both kind of, you know, trying to figure out how to be the leader and the hero that they want to be. And Shazam is still, you know, figuring that out, succeeding a little bit in the second movie, but he's still figuring out how to be. And throughout the course of American Underdog, you know, it's Kurt very much trying to figure out who he is he as a quarterback, who is he as a leader, who is he as a, you know, potential husband and father and all these things. Shazam still got a little ways before he's thinking about being a husband and a father.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a hero's journey in all of it, for sure. I think there's something very fun about that.
So we are super excited and waiting for this movie to come out on December. You know which day it's going to be?
December 25th, Christmas Day.
25th, Christmas, in order to celebrate, like, you know, like a great Christmas gift, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Zachary
Feliz
Levi.
Navidad, baby. Feliz Navidad.
Nate, thank you so much. Do you want to say greetings to Mexico for all the people who follow you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, to everyone in Mexico and Latin America, I just want to say thank you so much for your continued love, your continued support. We came through with Shazam. You guys were so lovely when we came down to Mexico City. We can't wait to come back again. I hope you enjoy this movie as much as we enjoyed making it. Sending you so much love. Besos, besos, besos.